Hello everybody, I've finally managed to make an appearance here over on YouTube. Thank you so much to everybody who has recently watched, liked, commented on my channel, and if you're a new subscriber, welcome. If you're not yet a subscriber and you'd like to, there's a little reminder somewhere in this video, up there, down there, could be up there, could be there, and it could be at the end. I don't know, there's a reminder somewhere. So where have I been? I have simply been sewing. I've had a few sort of quiet projects that I can't talk about going on in the background, and I've just noticed I've got something under my camera. Oh yes, it might have made a difference there. Just knock that back. A few things going along in the background that I've not been able to talk about, but soon I will be, and I can't wait to share them with you. Sometimes we're asked to do these things and we're not allowed to share them, so it sort of adds a little bit of suspense. But when you do a YouTube channel and you know you've got to produce content and you've got these other things going on, it just sort of gets in the way a little bit. But today I am just going to reflect back a little bit. I'm going to go back to New Year because it's just a really tiny quick clip. I have, many years ago, I met this lovely lady called Jo. Now Jo and her husband and her daughters used to camp next to us. I'm folding my arms here because this is quite a story. Camp next to us in Cornwall, and we camped next to each other for years and years and years. I got this message from Jo saying, guess where we are? There's a picture of her and her husband, and behind them was York Minster. Jo and her husband have done one of these let's convert a delivery van into a camper van thing. So they'd come up to York for New Year, and they were going off on New Year's Eve to meet other friends from the campsite that they'd met over the years, over towards, I think it was Lancashire way. So I knew my next door neighbours were away, and there was space next to my next door neighbour's camper. So Jo and Adam came and camped next to me, and I had some spare tickets for Castle Howard. So there's just the tiniest little bit of a clip. Have a little look at this. There we go. Jo, so what do you do when somebody from the, which choir?
Change and Check choir.
Change and Check
on the
choir
Lorraine show.
That you know from years ago says I'm in York. There's camp on your drive overnight and you come to Castle Howard. As you saw there, Jo mentioned the Check and Change choir. If you are in the UK and you saw Good Morning Britain just before Christmas and in the run up to Christmas, there's a magazine programme at the end of Good Morning Britain, and it's called Lorraine. They were running a campaign to bring the awareness of breast cancer to the fore, and they set up a choir, and Jo got in the choir. So it was just so wonderful. So you may have seen that story on Instagram, and I just wanted to share it with you because it was such a precious moment to have Jo back in my life and to see her and Adam, and we just did not stop talking for 24 hours. Hannah and Michael came down because Hannah hasn't seen Jo for years. Michael hadn't met Jo and Adam before, so it was just the most wonderful evening. And Jo has a little YouTube channel. I'm going to link her down below. Go over and give her a little watch. Jo does a lot of sewing like me, and she also does embroidery, but Jo will embroider, and she uses the Atelier. I think it's one of the Janome machines. I don't know if it's an Atelier one or if it's one of the straightforward embroidery machines. I really just don't know. Now, the other thing that I've been doing this month, in and along all the beautiful other makes I've had to do, well, I shouldn't say I've had to do, I've totally enjoyed doing, that sounds better, is I have been making the Trudy Turtleneck, ta-da, in the latest fabric from the Beyond the Pink Door box. And as promised, here's a little clip on how I did pattern Tetris. Now, here we go, folks. I have had a lot of questions and inquiries about pattern Tetris. So here I am playing around with my lovely new Beyond the Pink Door fabric because I have the Trudy Turtleneck and I really want to make it. So what I've done is folded, I've checked my 4 main pattern pieces across. In fact, it's 3. I need 4 pattern pieces. I need the sleeve, the body, which is 2 bits cut on the fold, and I need the neck cuff. Now, I've laid them across and I've measured it up, and it's coming out at 27 inches which is about 70 centimetres. I'm going to allow up to 80 centimetres for this garment. The pattern says it needs 1.3 metres. Now, I believe this fabric might be slightly wider, and I'm being really careful not to stretch it, because it would be very easy to stretch it out, and we don't want that. We want it to lay as flat as possible. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to film myself doing this, but I will come back with you in a minute. And I've got my masking tape right over there in the corner. Now I'm going to apologise now straight away for my lighting, because this is me working through my thought processes, not setting up totally for filming. And I sometimes think seeing my thought processes will help you more. Now, when playing pattern Tetris and folding over, especially when you've got a fabric that's got all these lovely straight lines on it, is a bit easier. But this is wasteful, because you want to be able to get, if this is, I think this is the back, you need to get the front, and then you need to get the sleeves and try and get the collar on as less of fabric as possible, because down there I've got at least one more outfit. This fabric is beautiful. I need to get as much out of it as I possibly can. So what I'm now going to do is to fold the fabric back again. So far I haven't needed to tape it, because I've got the bulk at that end on top of my pattern test that you can't see, which is underneath it. You've got the bulk of the fabric on there. Bear with me. I think this top tip is going to become a complete vlog. I've folded the fabric over. I went to point then and the whole thing went out of focus. I folded the fabric over, and it is 24 centimetres here, and if you trust me, it's 24 centimetres at the top. So now I know that this back piece I can cut. I will then proceed to do exactly the same thing by folding. I will cut straight down here, and I will fold over again to do the front. This is the back, I've just checked it. I just want you to see how easy it is to be so accurate when you've got a fabric with a beautiful, beautiful striping like this one. There you go. Now, I'm just going to take this off here, spin the camera around. Please excuse the sort of look at my middle there. And here, oops, stuck onto the camera. Here's the next pattern piece to go on. Beautifully down the fold. You just need to make certain that your fold is lining up perfectly. Please excuse the sequins from something I've cut out for somebody else. And there we go, we're lining it up, and this time you can see at the bottom here, just here. But there you go, that is how you do it. It's just taking your time, and you have to make certain that you have got this to the grain. Now, obviously I've cut away from the selvage here, and I'm just hoping to goodness that I've got it on the best grain I have. And it is a question of just making certain that you have got this where it needs to be when you are folding it. Tweaking it around, just taking your time, give yourself an extra few minutes. If you're at all uncertain, go away, make yourself a cuppa, come back, have a think about it and think, have I got it right? Am I happy with it? What's the saying? Measure twice, cut once. It's exactly the same thing. Thinking, reflecting, it's all you need to do. Oh, the other thing I need to just explain to you is that you need to be very careful at the top here. So here's the top, and I've had to pull it down slightly. Let me just put a pin in here. And I just needed to make certain, because look, the fabric has slipped slightly, but we have got it on the straight grain, which is what we wanted. And just for you to see, at the moment, that's what I've used at the moment. I think the sleeve is slightly longer than 65. Oh no, the sleeve is running in at 64 centimetres, and I've dropped it down from the top. There you go. I'm going to measure the width of this fabric because I think it's slightly wider. But if it is, it's helping with the pattern Tetris. But all I'm doing is working across the fabric like so. So here I have pinned the sleeve on, and what I've done is I've measured the grain. I've brought the selve edge over to here, so I can now measure the grain, and they are both 16.2. So if you don't know how to measure the grain, I'm really sorry, but I'm going to explain it again. So you lay on your grain, your pattern piece, and this is your grain line, this large line that goes down your pattern. You pin it at one end. I'll take this off so you know what I'm doing. And you measure it. So I'm measuring the top end here. I'm showing you what I'm doing. Are we in focus? No, we are not. Yes, we are now. So I'm laying this on. You lay the top of your tape measure on your grain line, measure it to the edge, and it is actually 16.2. I'm not going to try and get the camera to focus in on it. You bring your tape measure down to the other end, and if it is not quite right, you twist your pattern away. Your pattern will move. Oops. Your pattern will move. Now, and you measure it up. I always lay the edge of the tape measure where it should be, which is 16.2. Just back the pattern and lay on. Now, what I am going to tell you here is that it is tight. This is one of the risks of pattern Tetris. We really are right at the edge there, and we are really tight at the edge on the other side, but we're okay. It fits on. Can you see? Just down there. We've got one more piece to put on, and that is the collar, and it needs to go on the fold. Now I have checked the width of this, and I've got my tape measure laid across, and it is actually slightly wider than normal. It is just over 160 centimetres wide. Now, as you can see, I have decided not to cut out the Jersey Marionnaire out of this fabric. In hindsight, part of me is wondering whether this fabric is slightly too lightweight for a Breton style top. So on reflection, I am going to not cut anything else out of this fabric tonight because I have barely used 65 centimetres of it, so I have the best part. I've got at least 1,90 m left. Now 1,90 m would make the most beautiful cardigan for the summer. And my gut feeling is, it's so beautiful, let's not rush into making something out of the fabric just because it's here. So I'm just going to pop a little bit in before I carry on talking. My aim was to try and record a weekly vlog. I don't quite know how it went, how it's going to run together, but you know something, what I've recorded seems to be quite good, so I actually want to pop it in. So I'm talking about a Monday, which will actually be 2 weeks ago tomorrow. It is the 21st of December. What am I like? It's 21st of January as I sit here in front of the camera. 21st of January. So this will be 2 weeks ago tomorrow. Hannah is learning how to use the cover stitcher tonight. Just
Lorraine should not splay on my hand.
Right, we've just gone through. We had an issue where she had her. You happy with that?
Yeah, it's a tiny bit loose over the.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Don't panic. Can you just show everybody what you were doing?
I was doing that.
Just doing that on a hand, but and of course
with my double jointed hands as well.
Yes, jointed hands here. We have got slightly hyperextended tendons. So you need to have a hand on a bridge to the side. That's it. You've still got your finger too close in front. So it's more a question of having your hand like that at the side.
Oh, like,
so it is
would
a one hand.
Work?
Yes, that would work, but just give it a gentle push with the foot pedal.
A minute, it's like, it's getting...
Now, do you feel you have a little bit of control over it?
Yes, because what I've done...
what have you done?
Is essentially I'm pushing down into my thumb.
Giving yourself a break. It's a funny thing to do, but it does work. The other thing you could do, Hannah, is to put your pins away at the same time.
I think that's going to be in. That one can come out for definite.
There's your pins. Sorry about the wonky camera then.
That one can come out then. What happens? You're asking them to help you with something.
So all I'm doing is Hannah wanted the trousers taking up. I've marked it and I've left her to do the rest of it.
You talked me through it, but...
Talked you through it, but if I don't tell you what to do and help you, you'll never learn how to do it, will you?
No.
So before Hannah came, I managed to get out for a little dog walk because I got home from work early on Monday, and at that time it was still light enough to go out. And guess what I found? I found the first snowdrops. So have a look at the first snowdrops of the year. Despite all the rain, look what we've got. The snowdrops are here. I've not been in the woods here for a few days. These are my local woods. This whole area is awash with snowdrops. This is my problem with my hands. The poppy. Right, and here comes the magwag. Reality check. Do you know it's marvellous? It's 3:30 and it's light. Wonderful. So I can tell you now that the snowdrops are looking more and more luscious. Oh, more luscious by the day. Today I should have got the camera out and taken a picture, but I was on my way home and I was desperate for the loo. Too much information, I know. Anyway, I didn't do a review of 2023 and I'm going to tell you why. I did it, but I was having a little bit of issue with the camera focusing, and it was like, if I picked up something and I put it in front of the camera here, now I don't know what's going to happen. I would show you something. I'd go in and show you something like a piece of fabric. And then when I took the camera down, the camera was going out of focus. Now, I know I'm not looking at my side lens at the moment, but just hold on a minute. I've just paused and checked my side lens and then I flicked it back again. The camera wasn't clicking back into focus, and I'd got loads and loads of bits of footage and it was just out of focus, and I thought, this is not on. So I thought, actually, I made a lot of lovely things last year and I'm going to leave it there. So let's focus on the Trudy turtleneck, shall we? So let's put a picture in here of me wearing the Trudy turtleneck. So it's going to go in here and I'm going to change the pictures. Now, I'm very happy with it. I made a size 8 and I don't think, I'm going to hold up my arms here, I don't think I could make it any smaller. Apologies if my eyes, I'm just going to have to turn the screen to the side so that I know that I'm making certain. Can you see here, my arm? Is it better on this one? Yeah, you can see it here. I have this excess weight here and I know I need to do some exercises, but as it stands at the moment, the size that I've made on the Trudy turtleneck actually fits me beautifully. It's meant to have negative ease, so it should cling back to me. But down here, down my arms, you can see that it is just, you know, there's excess fabric there. I did shorten the sleeves by 3 centimetres, but I have to say, I think I could take another 5 centimetres off the sleeves. Looking at the body, it's looking good. Just pull this back so I can see what I'm looking at. I'm showing you. Here, it's looking as if it fits me really nicely. Just come down a bit here. The pictures have me wearing my jeans, but actually I put my jeans away and I've got my very old Sweaty Betty leggings on and it doesn't match at all. But it fits me and skims me really, really nicely. Let's lean forward into the camera. One of the things I was uncertain about doing was doing the top stitching round here. Now I've done it so that I've put my cover stitch, I can have double needles or triple needles, but I've done it so I've got a wide double needle around here. And it does sit really, really nicely. The shoulders, I think I could lift those up by 1 centimetre each. I didn't do any alterations, I just made it. But as you have seen from... Sorry about that, I'd cut my head off then and carried on talking. As you will have seen from when I cut the pattern out, I was very, very careful on how I cut it, and I actually only used approximately 75 centimetres of the fabric. This pattern is divine. I am so lucky I have got this gorgeous fabric to wear it in. Now, a while ago, I bought this. I have no idea where I bought it from. It's available on loads of your websites at the moment. It's one of these pontonille fabrics. And the idea was that I would make the Trudy Turtleneck in this. And again, it's very fine. Hold on a second. And it is quite, it's a little bit see-through. And it's got the same lovely drape. I have no idea how much I've got. It looks like I have got an awful lot of it. Now these tables are 1.3 meters long. I think I've got about 2.5 meters of this. And again, I'm going to make another Trudy turtleneck that I can wear underneath garments for work. This is just going to have to go on hold for a little while. And I think I'm going to have to retrace the pattern and take myself down to a size 6. Would I recommend the Trudy turtleneck? Yes, I would. It's very straightforward. If you've got the Mariflex thread, you can do your cuffs using a twin needle. If you want to use a twin needle in your sewing machine, you need to wind yourself 3 bobbins, 1 for the bottom and 2 for the top, one on top of the other. Take both the threads together and bring them through your tension discs simultaneously. And when you get to that little divider, so you've got your needles here like that, and you have a little split, a little guide at the top there, that's when you need to make certain that they are completely split. To go through each needle, do your test, and you will get a lovely, lovely double stitch to use for your finishing off. I personally would rather use, this is me personally, this is not the right way or the wrong way. I love a double top stitch to finish off. I think it looks more professional. So that's what I would prefer to do. A lot of people just use a zigzag. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. But it gives you that lovely, lovely finish. I am fortunate enough to own a cover stitch machine, and I did use that on the cover stitch machine. So for now, I'm going to say it's been lovely to see you all again. I will be back, hopefully by around the end of the month, you will see me again. And I'll be able to share some of the things I've been making. So for now, I hope you're all extremely well. If you'd like to subscribe, as a little reminder, descending from the top, to click that little button. It would be lovely if you would like to subscribe and click that little notification bell. Some people have actually asked where that little sign is. It's underneath, just above the description box, there's a little button that says subscribe, and that's all that you press, that little subscribe button. But for now, thank you ever so much, and I will see you all again very